All right, y'all. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Brown Girls Are Beautiful. I am your melanated queen. And as you can see, I have a different microphone in my hand. Someone had asked me about the lapel microphone. They're like, does it not fit on your clothes? And I was like, my voice is so light, you all, that I have to have a microphone, because if not, this is what I sound like. This is what I sound like without a microphone. My voice is extremely light. So even talking to people over the phone for so long, they'll be like, I can't hear you. And I think I'm yelling. I'm like, I'm not going to yell through the phone. And if I go through the drive-through, they're like, ma'am, can you speak up? And I find myself yelling, can I get an order of fries? Like, it just doesn't work out. I'll be like, can I get a large order of? It's just ridiculous. It's a struggle, you all. So for those of you who have light voices, you know what I'm talking about. Nonetheless, I've been told people like my voice. It's soothing, it's relaxing, it's calming. So I'll take those compliments, you all. I think that has gotten me through many parts of my employment throughout the years. I've been complimented by many. So thank you so much for that. But I do want to make sure you can all hear me clearly. All right, so today it is approximately 84. Okay, that's 84 degrees, and it's probably hotter than that, you all. It's a little bit sweltering out there. So I wanted to be outside when I addressed you all, but the sun is extremely beaming, and I don't have a really good setup the way that I would like. So we're going to do this inside in the cool air conditioning, okay? Now, I had to address you as soon as I could, because actually, you all, I should be doing other things, and I'm going to get to those things, but I wanted to come on here and speak to you now. I might have to cut this off for a second and go get my notes here, because we're going to talk about this George Floyd ceremony. So just a moment, okay? You all, and we're back. We are back. My apologies. My phone is buzzing right beside me. Okay, so I have a very attuned and very astute senses, you all. Anyway, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted is that this reminded me of the Nipsey Hussle situation. If you recall, Nipsey Hussle's ceremony took place, I think, in April of last year. Now, that was the springtime. Again, this is still spring. This is June. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, I came in the middle of the ceremony, okay, when I got back, and I turned it on and saw what was going on, because I had 18 text messages, you all, while I was driving down the road talking about this scenario. So anyway, we're going to walk down the line here, because I do not want my melanated people to be misconstrued, okay? Pay very close attention. Al Sharpton, many y'all are probably already abreast of this information, is a paid puppet, okay, to speak to the public. He's talking about marching again. Where did that ever lead us, you all? Where did the marches that Martin Luther King orchestrated, where did those marches lead us? Okay, marched into oblivion. That's where it left us. Now, Al Sharpton in his speech referenced Anthony Cuomo. He said he was going to be in talks with Anthony Cuomo. Who is Anthony Cuomo? A lot of people don't even know who that is. Most melanated people don't. Not trying to be offensive, but most melanated people, if it's not pertaining to the president, Hillary Clinton, Obama, Bill Clinton, people like that, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, they're not into politics. Anthony Cuomo, and we know this because young Pharaoh has been very well informed, and he's been on top of his game as far as keeping us educated and knowledgeable about what's going on out here, and I'm very grateful for that. He is the New York governor, you all. And anyway, so Al Sharpton, somehow he has ties to all these people in politics, okay? Wink, wink. he wants to discuss these things with Anthony Cuomo. Now, let's check Anthony Cuomo's background for those of you who have not been following. He is heavily involved in some things, and I'm just going to leave it at you might want to do some research on terrorist acts, rape, and child trafficking. Okay, I'm just saying you might just want to do some research on those things and how it all ties in together. So I find it interesting that Al Sharpton, what is he, like a reverend? He's in talk with this guy. All right, we're being rocked to sleep all over again, just like with Obama. Do you recall that? You remember how everybody fell in love with Obama because he was so articulate, well-spoken, and his intellect was there. He's quick on his with his tongue. He's very efficient with how he delivers messages. And you all, people fall for people who are nice looking, who are well groomed. He represented the ideal family for the White House. So a lot of our melanated people, you know, they fell for that. He was a distraction. And if you are not aware of the things that have been taking place, do some digging and do some research, because I'm not going to spend my time going over that right now. All right. So, like I said, Al Sharpton continues to be a paid puppet, you all. He is set in front of us to provide a moving message, a speech to the public, so that we will all have something to believe in. He speaks about leaders. Now, what is so dangerous about leaders, you all? Well, if people are into the Bible, people read the word, you know that you have been forewarned to stop idolizing people, stop idolizing man, okay? Idolize no one but yourself, or if you want, your parents, someone that you actually know personally. But to idolize people you've never met is going to basically prove to be foolish. So while we were watching this service, we noticed the likes of Jesse Jackson being present, Kevin Hart, Ludacris, and he actually called Ludacris. He did not call him by his real name, and I forgot what Ludacris's real name is. We can look that up. I think it's Christopher something, but I just find it comical that at a place of a ceremony, something that serious, that you would actually reference a rapper by his rap name. Let's see what Ludacris's real name is. We can do a quick search on that. Christopher Brian Bridges, you all. So he could have just said, we have Christopher Bridges here. Everybody saw that it was Ludacris. Tyrese Gibson and Master P. And we all know that's Percy Miller. So to me, I take this as an insult because, oh, and T.I. Okay, and Tiffany Haddish. We already know how people feel about her. So basically, you know, the shenanigans and the charades begin again because you are basically grandstanding in front of the melanated community using celebrities to push your political agenda, because that's what this George Floyd ceremony was about. And if you listen to the news anchors afterwards, they basically said it was a mixture of African, what did he say, spirituality mixed with politics and something else. Where does politics have a place in a situation where someone has been stripped of their lives? I noticed that more attention was placed on Al Sharpton and placed on Tiffany Haddish than George Floyd's so-called allegedly actual family. Okay, so just everybody take note of the agendas that they're running here. I don't know how and why, but it's my understanding that Ludacris and T.I. and Tiny, they all live in or reside in Atlanta, Georgia. So I guess they flew to Minnesota to go to someone's funeral that they've never met and never known. I guess Tyrese felt the need to do the same thing. So how does this all play in, you know, in together? And then Kevin Hart flies from LA to go to a funeral in Minneapolis. Like, make it make sense, you all. Okay, so the charades continue. Then at the end of the service, what do we see but more shenanigans? We Can't Breathe t-shirts come out of thin air. Black and white t-shirts, you all. And then they're chanting, "We can't breathe." Stop. Do not fall for these. Do not fall for these antics, you all, because you are basically reaffirming, putting these negative affirmations over your life, over into your reality. We can't breathe. We can't breathe. Why would you chant that? Do you not understand that words are spells. Words are powerful. Words can actually represent energy. And what you put your energy to, we all know that's what thrives. Sickening, you all. All right. It was really, this was an insult to all melanated people, and you should be offended by this, because this is what they think of us. Blacks, like I'm going to say it again, melanated people are easily moved by preachers and well-spoken jargon, because that's what a lot of that was. And I'm going to say it again, Obama was an example of this. They actually stated that this was factored into why, when he ran for presidency in the election, he actually won a lot of blacks. They fed into it. A lot of melanated people fell into that because he was so well spoken, and it was the way in which he projected his speech, you all. Okay. They talk about faith leaders again. What is faith? Belief. Okay. Belief. They want you to believe. They're getting into your minds again. They want to organize another march, you know, and he's already making talks of that. Where are those marches leading, you all? Think about it. I wouldn't feed my energy into this nonsense. All right. Then he talks about, Eric Gardner. I think their family is going to lead the march along with George Floyd's family as well. There were people in the audience sitting there with their muzzles on, because that's what I take that as. You're sitting at a funeral service, at a ceremony, and you can't even show your face. You have to be seated with basically a mask on your face. That's a muzzle. That's representative of a muzzle to me. I mean, that's what that's representative of. Then they talked about the mega political strategy, make America great again. Okay, and he said, when was it ever great? When was it great? When women had to get the right to vote? When has it been great for the Hispanics? Okay, see there, and this is the issue. You're all over the place. Is your main primary focus about what is being done with police brutality as it pertains to George Floyd's life because he's a melanated individual, or is it about rights for females voting, or is it about a right for Hispanics? Pick one and choose one and stick there. You're marching for what cause? You're all over the place, and you want melanated energy to pour themselves into this arena? I think's not. All right. What you all have seen in front of your faces, you all, is a ritualistic practice. I know many of you are not aware of it, but that is what has taken place once more. Last year, I'm going to say it again, it was Nipsey Hussle. This year, it was George Floyd. Right before this, it was Kobe Bryant. And let me make the connection there, because just like Kobe Bryant had a daughter by the name of Gianna, George Floyd's alleged daughter was named Gianna, and there's actually footage of her sitting on the shoulders of George Floyd's NBA's friend that played in the NBA, and they said that she was chanting, "My daddy changed the world." Now you think about it, someone that young, how would she really know what's going on, or was she coached to say that? That's really not, to me, that's not a normal reaction for a child that has just lost their father. I don't know, because I haven't been in that situation, but I'm just saying all of this seems a little weird and suspicious to me, and it looks very much staged. It looks like they're pulling on the heartstrings, especially of the melanated community, because they know how passionate we are, you all. Come on, they know how you operate. They've studied you psychologically, and they've studied you physiologically, so they know how you're going to respond to a lot of things. It's like I said, it's social engineering and predictive programming. Do not fall for the hype, and make sure you keep your eyes focused on the real agenda and the narrative that's being pushed here. Okay, let's not get distracted, you all, because there's something deeper that goes beyond this. All right, so let's see. And then NBA, Kobe was an NBA player. Allegedly, George Floyd's, one of his former best friends, played for the NBA. So I'm making the connections there. All right, and then they said that George Floyd, when he left out of this world, he was allegedly calling for his mother. This, once again, is to pull on the heartstrings, people. If his mother has no longer been here and he's calling for his mother. Now, I have heard that when people are about to die, they do call out on a loved one that has transitioned over. So I don't know if this is to be true or not. We were not there. This is just basically what we have been told, okay? and again, this is making a mockery out of melanated people, okay, because they know how easily swayed people are, especially when they get emotional about things. They're not thinking clearly. So I just wanted to take a moment to come on and address some of this antics. I wanted to address these antics that have been pushed in front of us, you all. Also, this is what I wanted to say as well. There have been people's family, and I don't want to forget these people, because what Al Sharpton should have done when he took that 8-minute and 46-minute break to say that George Floyd had a knee pressed on his neck for that long. What about the people who have family members who allegedly died from COVID? And that goes across the entire nation. And that is because these people were basically allegedly murdered, you all, in the facilities by improper handling, having breathing tubes stuck down their trachea, and half of them, most of them, majority of them did not need that breathing apparatus. So what did that do? That obstructed their airflow, and therefore you had a lot of COVID deaths. Okay, no one talks about that. Where is the moment of silence for these innocent victims that died from basically an orchestrated in a man-made virus? Where is the what do I want to say? I want to know, where is the justice for that? Blatant murder, you all, blatant terrorism. Where is any effort taken to find out what really happened in these COVID deaths? Because I'm telling you, there are people that I've known who have said that personally their parents basically passed away from COVID. Do you not understand? These people will never get to see their family members again because someone wanted to orchestrate COVID. Do you not understand what's the objective behind all of this? And now we have been distracted by George Floyd. Not only that, he said that people were in Germany marching for George Floyd. Do you know why people were marching in other countries? Because in Spain and in France, it happened again. They had officers putting their knees on melanated beings' necks. And if you think I'm making it up, go and do your research. There is footage and evidence that this is taking place all over. Not just that, they push this narrative at a particular point in time, specifically on purpose. Like I said, if you go back and look at the date on the surveillance footage, it shows May 5th, 2020. They orchestrated this and pushed it out into the media on May 25th, 2020. Why did they do that? Trust and believe it's a tactical plan called Operation Mockingbird. And also, we're going to be exploring Operation Paperclip. We're going to be exploring Operation Bluebird, which was then formulated into MK Ultra. Everybody, please watch the documentary called Out of Shadows, because what you're seeing and what you're witnessing is being taken place right in front of you. They're using these CIA tactics right now as we speak. So I don't want you to be misled. I want you to understand that I know you may be emotional about what's going on, but don't think that the enemy won't use your emotions against you, because yes, they will. Always know the devil never plays fair, okay? The enemy never will play fair. And so you need to be just as abreast and informed on these strategies that are being used against you. Read The Art of War. They say the best war ever won is the one that you never have to fight, you all. So don't think you have to go out there in the streets putting your lives at risk, putting your freedom in jeopardy for something that has been orchestrated in front of you and has been and they have taken advantage of your feelings and your emotions and your energy. You're feeding energy into a ritualistic practice. Understand that these celebrities are highly tied into politics. They are used by politics for a number of reasons on many different levels. They are aware of this. Make no mistake about it. And some of them that are not aware, they're not awakened. But like I said, if these celebrities really cared about you all, if they really cared, there would be so many different changes made on so many different levels. But do you see that taking place? The only time they want your attention is when they feel that they're losing your attention. And that's when they want to come on Instagram and address you. All of a sudden, they want to have all these Instagram battles. All of a sudden, they're on Instagram entertaining you all. When has celebrities ever really been that worried about engaging with people? Okay, unless it was to be envied, unless it was the fact that they want to be celebrated, you know? So I see through this. I want you all to see through it. Everybody continue to drink your alkaline water, you know, decalcify your pineal gland, because they're playing people like instruments out here. And that is really all I wanted to say. I will be back to address you later, you all, but I just had to talk about this very briefly here. I'm going to close out with a German phrase. Let's see. If you wanted to tell someone you understand, you would just simply say, Ich verstehe. So I hope that you all understand what I have just said. Ich verstehe, okay? I understand. And if you want to say, I do not understand, you would simply say, Ich verstehe nicht, okay? I understand not. I do not understand. Ich verstehe nicht, okay? And that's how you say that. So, of course, I'm going to close out like this. Shout out to all my melanated beauties, melanated queens. Shout out to all the melanated warriors out here that are awakened. Please continue to wake up the people out here. And all the melanated princes and princesses, please continue to walk in your divinity. And everybody out there, just stay well informed, stay positive, stay healthy, stay prosperous, and abundantly blessed. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your energy. And until next time, you all take care.